Hey everyone, welcome to this week's beach clean adventure. Don't know if you can hear me over the waves, but it is absolutely beautiful here, but also absolutely freezing. So I'm going to take you on a bit of a wintertime beach clean hike, and we'll probably go several miles, and I may intersperse some tips. I was going to do a top 10 wintertime beach clean hike tips, but I'll just throw them in as we go along because they're kind of random. There's no real order in terms of what's most important. I'm not good at top 10 lists anyways, so just learn from my mistakes as I go along. I've done a lot of wintertime beach cleans before, so there's plenty that you can learn from for me, because I love beach cleaning in the winter. It's actually one of my favorite seasons, because if it's not too windy like it is today, it's absolutely beautiful out here, and you warm up really quickly walking along the beach in the sun without clouds to block the sun. So highly recommend it, and like I said, we'll go up and down the beach, find some interesting trash, and share some tips along the way. Let's go. I always tell people to be overdressed rather than underdressed, right? You can always take clothes off, and you're better off doing that than being out on a long hike and not having enough to clothe yourself with, because it can get dangerous when it's this cold. You can suffer from frostbite and other things if you're far from somewhere where it's warm. So dress warm and don't take chances like that. My second tip would be to not start cleaning until you're on your way back. Now, this is kind of a year-round tip, but I think it's true for winter as well, specifically because if you are carrying stuff with you on your way out on a hike, you're just going to carry that back in and pass by where you would anyways again. So why carry extra weight until you have to on your way back? So I would say that's a good second tip. Bring lots of water and drink lots of water, which again is another tip that you can sort of follow year round, but I think we often overlook that tip in the winter because it's chilly outside and we don't think that we're dehydrated, but you actually can be, and you actually probably are. So definitely bring water, and maybe that's a fourth tip, a slightly separate tip. Not only bring water, but make sure you drink it, because I forgot to and I've walked probably like 2 miles already before taking my first sip, because my body's cool, but it doesn't mean that I'm not dehydrated. So pace yourself, which again is another one of those tips that applies year round. People often think only about that in the summer when it's hot, but like I said, with having to drink water, it's just as true in the winter. Take your time, don't rush. Bring gloves specifically, but keep other extremities warm, such as ears, nose. Like I said earlier on, with bringing specific clothes geared towards the winter, you want things like gloves and that sort of thing. I actually don't have gloves, or I couldn't find my gloves, so I went with an alternative, and alternatives are fine. So I found socks, which seems insane, but they actually double quite nicely as gloves in a pinch. So use what you got. I don't know where my gloves are, probably in the wash. Bring something warm to drink. I just crushed 2 lattes, and I'm glad I did, because it helped warm me up really quickly. So yeah, definitely bring something warm to drink. Make sure to not overburden yourself with trying to push too hard. Like I said, it's easy to think that you can do a much longer hike than maybe you need to. So pace yourself, like I said earlier, but don't hesitate to call it if it's a bit much for you, because again, you're going to find trash going out here. I would say bring a snack. I got a Cliff Bar in my backpack, but you'd be surprised how hungry you get very quickly. Again, even in the winter. Well, as usual, I don't know if you can hear me over the wind and waves, but I don't really care because this is absolutely gorgeous. So I just want to share a couple more items before I wrap up here for the day. And sadly, there was plenty to find and plenty to pick up. Last week, I did a post-blizzard beach clean, and I talked about how even in the dead of winter, you can find stuff that's definitely related to wintertime, like chapstick and lip balm and that sort of thing, and scarves and stuff that people leave behind even hiking in the winter. But you find other stuff from year-round as well. And so I showed some of that in between, just random stuff I found, which again is definitely here, both from the this winter, pretty fresh and recent, but also from the rest of the year. And also there are things that are potentially decades old, such as this, which younger viewers might look at this and say what in the world it is, or ask what in the world it is. But if you are me, you know that this is a floppy disk, because this is what basically USB drives were when I was a kid, in middle school or whatever. Anyways, who knows how long this has been at the beach. This could have been around for many years, if not decades. Don't know about this one, but speaks to the fact that plastic is in no rush to hang around and degrade. That's part of the problem. There's more every year for that reason. Also, I think this is a first finding a pair of scissors like this. I found like different types of pocket knives and that sort of thing, but I've never found just straight up scissors. So yeah, definitely one of the stranger finds. I might actually hold on to this, keep it in my bag, because it could be really handy cutting wires and strings and stuff, like I showed a video of while I was giving some wintertime beach cleaning tips to cut through some of those. So if you find a tool that you can repurpose on your beach cleans, why not? So free scissors. And lastly, I found this rock, which, spoiler alert, is not actually a rock if you look at it up close. It's actually a degraded piece of styrofoam. I could pull it apart, see? So it's kind of, you know how there's fool's gold? This is fool's rock. And this stuff is definitely not great. I don't know exactly what type of plastic or synthetic fiber it is, but it's that all the same. So it's probably foam from maybe a buoy or packaging or something like that, but this is way old. You can see it was probably once white colored, and it's now stained like a gray, orange, rusted yellow, much like a rock, but it is most definitely not. Unless I have Hulk powers from mucking about in really dirty trash and I'm able to crush rocks or break rocks open, this is definitely not that. So anyways, definitely an interesting array of items. It was actually really cool. On my way out on this hike, I ran into a village trustee who recognized me from a local article about beach cleaning, and she said, "Are you the professor who beach cleans?" And I said, "Yeah, why, yes, I am." So it was cool. I talked to her for a little bit, and she was talking about some of the things that she's worked on and that the village are working on that I live in. So that's another point that I often say. You never know who you're going to meet out doing a beach clean. You never know who else is working on whatever they are, and that's sort of a big part of it, is trying to collaborate or trying to just raise exposure and awareness, because I don't think any one of us has the right answer or the solution to all these problems. But she had a great line. She said, if it becomes part of the culture, that's maybe how you sort of elicit larger scale change. And I definitely agree with that sentiment. So shout out to her and the work that they're doing with the village. So anyways, that's really everything for this week. Thank you guys as always. Hopefully next time it will be a bit warmer out here, and we'll we'll be back out next week anyways. So warm weather or not, but I'm hoping that we take a turn for the warmer. Anyways, if you like these sorts of beachy adventures, like, subscribe, share with people who you think might be interested. There's been a lot of interest, and that's really encouraging. So I appreciate everybody who does that, because I can pick up what I can find, but it takes all of us to do more for sure. But it's great being out here. I love hiking anyways, and one day I hope to start doing videos where I'm just showing you some cool hiking spots, because there is natural beauty to see as well. And I would love for that to be the focus of any content I make moving forward. But until then, we will keep getting trashed. So thank you guys again for joining. Stay safe out there, be well, and hope to see you on the beach. Bye-bye.